you follow my Instagram, you might have seen my post last night about Max's alternator finally kicking the bucket. So I charged up the battery overnight, managed to get him started this morning and able to drive to work. And on the way down I rang Spares Place to get a new alternator. They said they could get one in by about lunchtime. So I'm on my way down now to pick up this alternator, and I'll hopefully be able to get it put in this afternoon at work so that I can be able to drive back home from work without the battery completely draining because there's no alternator giving it a charge. I was quite pleased that it actually started up just now. One of my staff has one of those super charger things, jump starting your car, and he's lent it to me just in case I can't start the van up again after I buy the part. But it started up pretty well just then, so it should be right. Okay, so this is probably one of the quicker repair jobs I'm going to have to do. Replacing my alternator which died, so I need to make sure that I get stuff out of the way so that I can actually lift the thing out. I think most of these bolts and everything are they're 12s or 14s. Now this isn't going to be that much fun for me because the engine's hot because I've just driven back from the spare parts place. And I'm on my lunch break. And I need to get it done. Right, so I think that one is the bottom bolt's the worst thing on this. Now it's funny, I went and got gloves to keep my hands clean while I did this. And now I haven't got them on. I'll just never clean them. Anyway, right, so that plug's a bit of a pain. Let's see if I can see whether that's the 12 or the 14 there. That's the 14. Yeah. It's the large pivot bolt. Talk about making life difficult. So I need a couple of very small ones. That other plug just doesn't want to come out easy. You see that? Not really. Just trying to get this last plug out, and it's just got one of those little tabs. There we go. Alright, so dead. Stopped working. Checked the charge off last night and it wasn't, so it's had it. Beautiful brand new one. Have a quick look and you go, yeah, handle looks the same. Plugs generally in the same spot. No, plugs are in the same spot. So, you just tuck that out of the way for a minute. Let's get it sitting over that bottom pivot. Get its bolt. What's stopping that? This pin's blown hard to get. Need to clean the threads a bit. So there's something that was slightly different. This one's actually got a thread just here, so I've actually got to screw it in. The other one was just a clean one through and then a nut on the outside. That's going to be a pain because it's hard to get a spanner or socket or anything down on this side. But that's the way it's got to go in. It's going a bit meta now that I've got the threads cleaned up a bit. Yep, I dropped the spanner. Thankfully the thread had cleared enough now. So I need to get I won't do these up real tight straight away. So I can try and get everything sort of done up. There's the locking one. Get the belt back on all the pulleys. Get the lead. Oh, it's connected. Right, this was a positive post, wasn't it? Make sure it's nice and secure. without touching anything else that's earthed. Get those two. Tighten back up the brackets. Some tension on the belt. That's in place. Make sure that rubber boot goes over that. That's out of the way. Plugs in, attached. Distributor cap back on. Then I want to finish tightening up that see. You know what? I'm wearing my dust coat. I can climb underneath. I'll be able to reach it easier. Yep, this is where I did it from last time. When I was rebuilding the engine before. That's nice and tight. This nut, kind of a little redundant, but I've had so much other stuff where you're putting stuff together and you go, what's that extra bolt for? So I'll just good tension. See if it starts, eh? Actually, figured I might let the battery charge up a little bit while I'm packing up. I'm not sure actually how clear the imaging was, but I know when I first set it up you couldn't see much of the engine bay anyway, or where the thing is, but it's not the greatest spot for filming something, but I think I'm a maker, I'm a industrial arts, I'm a DIYer, and I think my main reason for wanting to do this is, you know, yeah, number one, it was all in the Instagram, car broke down, what am I going to do? But if you got an old car like this and you got a little bit of technical nous about you, you don't need to go to a mechanic for everything. This was a part that I just needed to source and buy, and I went to the spare parts place where I get quite a lot of my parts, and they're really good. And it's taken me, well, it's taken me under half an hour, and that's with me fiddling around and talking about what I'm doing and struggling with the hands in little holes. But I've now got a car that's got a brand new alternator, and it's hopefully going to be running alright again. Might actually check the charging system as well just while it's running. Actually, I'll show you that. So one of the ways that I checked that my battery was actually good and my alternator was good was by getting a multimeter and going across the terminals. Basically, if you just go across the terminals like this without the engine running, your battery should read around 12 volts, maybe just under. When the alternator is running, it should read 13 to 14 volts. So I jam that in there. You can see I'm looking at this scale, and you can see the 10 and 20 volt, and it's sitting here just between 13 and 14. Now when I was checking it last night when I got it jump started, the needle was only just sitting above 10 as well. So that's how I knew that there's a good chance that my alternator was stuck. But now I've got good charge happening. Yeah. Charging right, idling right. It's all good. And this was the other place that I checked it last night. You get your positive terminal down on that heavy wire of the alternator, and then the negative just on any other earth point, and you should get a reading of 13 to 14. And I only found that out last night when I was talking to a mate, because I didn't know where to check it off the alternator. I just knew to check it across the battery, but I wanted to make sure that it wasn't an issue with any cabling or anything in the car. So he told me that, and last night it was only reading 10. So there we go. Hope this has been helpful for some people and that you've learnt something. Thanks.